You know, that's not the way I recall our experience. It was years and years of our lives, so I'm hoping that that sort of eclipses.
For decades, Sex and the City has been celebrated for its unforgettable characters, daring storylines, and the undeniable bond between its leading ladies. But beneath the surface of the show's glitz and glamour, rumors of a bitter feud between Sarah Jessica Parker and Kim Cattrall have lingered. Now, decades later, Parker is finally reflecting on what really happened behind the scenes. In a candid and revealing interview, Parker opens up about the reported tension, offering new insights into her relationship with Cattrall and how the fallout has impacted the beloved show. While Sex and the City presented the image of a close-knit group of women both on and off screen, tensions between Sarah Jessica Parker and Kim Cattrall began to surface as the series gained massive popularity. One of the most widely reported sources of friction was pay disparity. According to The Telegraph, as the lead character and an executive producer in the later seasons, Sarah Jessica Parker's salary was significantly higher than her co-stars, including Kim Cattrall. Efforts to negotiate pay parity reportedly caused frustrations, especially given how central all four women were to the series' success. Speaking candidly in 2017 on Piers Morgan's Life Stories, Kim Cattrall addressed the relationship dynamics, saying, "We've never been friends, we've been colleagues, and in some ways, that's a very healthy place to be." This public declaration painted a different picture than the one fans had come to imagine, confirming long-standing rumors of on-set tension. The idea of a close friendship, one that mirrored their iconic characters, simply hadn't existed off-camera. Insiders have also claimed that Cattrall often felt isolated. Journalists close to the series, such as Emily Nussbaum of The New Yorker, noted that her status within the cast may have made her feel undervalued compared to Parker. These feelings reportedly worsened as the show progressed, and Parker's role as executive producer gave her more creative authority, further complicating the dynamic. Despite the growing divide, the tension behind the scenes remained largely hidden during the show's original run. The cast maintained professionalism on set, and the chemistry on screen became one of the show's defining strengths. But as the franchise expanded into film, these underlying issues became impossible to ignore, setting the stage for an eventual public fallout. As the franchise moved from television screens to the box office, the tensions between Sarah Jessica Parker and Kim Cattrall became harder to contain. Production on the first Sex and the City movie in 2008 was marked by behind-the-scenes challenges, but it was during negotiations for the second film in 2010 that the cracks in the cast's relationship became increasingly visible to the public. Reports surfaced that Cattrall was hesitant to return for the films, with contract negotiations dragging on longer than expected. According to The Hollywood Reporter, Cattrall's reluctance stemmed in part from frustrations over creative decisions, and how her character, Samantha Jones, was being portrayed in the larger storylines. Insiders revealed that she felt her character's bold, unapologetic personality was increasingly sidelined in favor of Carrie Bradshaw's narrative, a shift that reportedly didn't sit well with Cattrall. Adding fuel to the fire, rumors of division among the actresses began circulating in the tabloids. According to the New York Post, there were whispers that Cattrall felt singled out on set and didn't receive the same treatment or respect as Parker, who was firmly established as the franchise's central figure, both on and off screen. Sarah Jessica Parker largely avoided commenting publicly at the time, but when asked about the rumors in interviews, she consistently stressed the professionalism of the cast. In a 2010 interview with Elle, she said, "Honestly, we are incredibly lucky to have this experience together. It's important to focus on that rather than any noise that could distract from it." This diplomatic response only seemed to confirm for some fans that there was, indeed, noise behind the scenes. By the time a third Sex and the City movie was proposed, the tensions had reached a breaking point. Cattrall outright refused to participate, and in 2017, during an interview with the Daily Mail, she revealed, "The answer was simply no. I didn't want to compromise what I had already created with Samantha, and the bigger conflict was between me and the franchise, not anyone else." Her statement shifted some of the public narrative, suggesting that her decision to walk away wasn't only personal, but also professional, rooted in dissatisfaction with the way her character and contributions were handled. This fractured relationship, now out in the open, became impossible to ignore. The fallout from Cattrall's departure not only left fans divided, but also reshaped the dynamics of the franchise itself. particularly as it moved forward without one of its core stars. After Kim Cattrall's public decision to walk away from the franchise and her comment that she was never friends with the cast in 2017, the fallout between her and Sarah Jessica Parker moved firmly into the public eye. In 2018, the rift escalated when Cattrall posted a now infamous statement on Instagram following the death of her brother. After Parker extended public condolences, Cattrall responded sharply, writing, "You are not my family. You are not my friend. So I'm writing to tell you one last time to stop exploiting our tragedy to restore your nice girl persona." This direct and public rebuke shocked fans, revealing the depth of the personal animosity between the two actresses. Rather than addressing it head-on, Parker kept her response measured. In an interview with People magazine later that same year, she said, "I never spoke about it, except to say that some of us were disappointed. But I never responded to the conversation Kim had with Piers Morgan, where she said things that were really hurtful about me." Parker's response showed her attempt to downplay the feud and focus on preserving the franchise's public image. On Cattrall's side, she further clarified her stance during an interview with The Guardian in 2019, stating, "I don't want to be in a situation for even an hour where I'm not enjoying myself. I want to choose who I spend time with professionally." For her departure from the series seemed less about the rift with Parker specifically, and more about her desire to move on from the franchise entirely. The aftermath of this fallout left a noticeable mark on the dynamic of the franchise. When HBO announced the revival series And Just Like That, Cattrall's absence was explained in the storyline by saying that Samantha had moved to London, a choice that some fans criticized as feeling hollow or incomplete. During press leading up to the show, Parker was asked repeatedly about Cattrall's absence. In an interview with Hollywood Reporter in 2021, Parker said plainly, "We didn't ask her to be part of because she made it clear that it wasn't something she wanted to pursue, and it didn't feel comfortable for us anymore, and so it didn't occur to us." While some fans continue to question whether Cattrall and Parker might ever reconcile, it's clear that both actresses have chosen to focus on their separate paths. For Parker, And Just Like That, represented a chance to reinvigorate the franchise and the characters, while for Cattrall, closing the chapter on Sex and the City allowed her to pursue other projects where she felt more in control. The tension between Sarah Jessica Parker and Kim Cattrall has become inseparable from the legacy of Sex and the City, influencing how the franchise is remembered. While the show originally celebrated female friendship and empowerment, the public fallout offered a stark contrast to the unity portrayed on screen. For some fans, Cattrall's absence in And Just Like That highlighted a missing piece of what made the franchise iconic. Samantha Jones was more than just a character. She represented fearless individuality, and her departure left what many consider an irreplaceable void. As Cattrall herself put it in The Times in 2020, "It was a chapter in my life. I've moved on, and I hope they have too." Her firm decision to walk away reflected not just a personal boundary, but also her belief that her creative contribution had run its course. On the other hand, Parker, in interviews with The Hollywood Reporter, has framed the revival series as a chance to look forward and further develop the remaining characters. While And Just Like That introduced new dynamics, many fans struggled to accept a version of the story without Samantha, reigniting debates about whether the franchise feels complete without her. The feud has also reshaped how the show is perceived culturally. Instead of being solely remembered for its groundbreaking storylines, the behind-the-scenes drama has sparked broader conversations about workplace dynamics, creative control, and the pressures on women in entertainment. For better or worse, the reality of the off-screen tension has become an inescapable part of the Sex and the City narrative. Ultimately, the franchise remains both beloved and questioned, celebrated for its cultural impact, yet complicated by the revelations of strained relationships. Whether reconciliation is possible or not, the enduring success of Sex and the City rests in how its stories, as well as its controversies, continue to captivate audiences,